how you described him at the start of this. So tell me about that. Clearly, there's another side to this guy.
That's crazy. He is saying to her, well, you said, you know, all these great things about him, and he helped me get my career going and all this stuff, like go Puffy, so to speak. But what is up, YouTube? How y'all doing? Yeah. Check it out, man. Dang, I don't even know how I'm gonna start this. You have to look at it from both angles. Please look at this from both angles, because when I first saw this, I was like, shame on you. I was really pushing this lady down. This is Cassidy's, man, one side is going out. This is Cassidy's makeup artist who's been around for quite some time. And I want you to notice how Paris Morgan was actually like grilling her, so to speak, man. And I'm on his side, like grilling, you should have said something. You should have done something. But she's like, well, I was just doing my job. And she was the one actually doing the makeup and covering up some of the bruises. She's seen some of this stuff and she didn't say anything. But on the other side, you think about it, Puffy was a very powerful person. And, you know, if I say something and he know I said something, if he know I snitched, right? If he knew I snitched, then I'd be one of the people everybody talking about dead. So I want you to decide. Listen to what she's saying, man. I want to bring this to you guys because I was checking this out and then I was thinking one way, then all of a sudden I reverted to a different thought. First I was against her, then I was a little for her. I'm like, God dang. Imagine being in this situation. So let's check this bad boy. Yeah.
No, I owe a lot to
hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell.
Because he taught me. You know, I owe a lot to.
Let's check it out, y'all.
With my career, because he taught me really everything I know about the industry.
You say you're very surprised and shocked.
See, I owe a lot to Puffy because he taught me a lot about the industry. So check it out. Check it out. Here we go.
Shocked by what's now come out. I wouldn't be shocked if I'd seen what happened to Cassie. I think this guy's a monster. Do you feel any sense of guilt that you didn't report it?
We were terrified of Sean. I wish that I could have done something more.
If you were called to testify against him, would you do that?
There are a lot of people who are checking their Rolodexes and making sure they weren't at particular parties because I think it can ruin careers.
I thought Puffy was a phony. I thought he pretended to be like a gangster, pretended to be tough, where in reality, he was the first to go to bed.
I mean, there's the music and then there is the person making the music.
Piers, there are three deadly people on this panel, me, you, and DJ Vlad. They do not like the fact that the three of us are here talking right now.
Okay.
The P. Diddy scandal has rocked the music industry to its core, and new tremors are reverberating daily. A slew of new lawsuits makes damning claims about more sexual abuse, including with a 13-year-old girl. 50 Cent says he's been raising the alarm for more than a decade. The 6 of Diddy's children say their father is a victim of a grand conspiracy theory. Every day there are new and damning allegations from the people who knew him best, and over the next hour or so, we're going to hear even more of them. Well, joining me now is the podcaster and commentator Jason Lee.
I still can't believe all this is going down, man. I can't believe it.
Chu, who represented Johnny Depp in his defamation case against Amber Heard. The former Diddy publicist and host of the Naughty But Nice podcast, Rob Shooter, and from Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. Welcome to all of you. I'm going to start first by talking to 𝗓𝗓 Morales, who worked as Sean Combs' makeup artist for many years, and was also friends with Cassandra Cassie Ventura, as well as Diddy's deceased partner, Kim Porter. Well, welcome to Uncensored, 𝗓𝗓. Just to paint a picture of how well you know P. Diddy, how long did you work for him?
I worked with Sean Combs in 2000, early 2000, until 2005.
She looks so nervous already, man. She looks so nervous.
So around 5 years or so.
I was
5 years
or so, yes.
And how much time did you spend with him?
I spent a lot of obviously I did his male grooming. So we did a lot of, strictly professional, and we spent video shoots, photo shoots. I traveled the world with Kim and Sean because, you know, he invented the he invented the entourage. So I would travel with Kim and Puff to Saint-Tropez to make sure that Kim was ready for the paparazzi.
And what was he like? I mean, when you were around him then, albeit this is quite a long time ago, 20 years ago, but what was your assessment, being that close to him for that length of time? What was your assessment of his character?
Well, Puff was a perfectionist, and he was just a completely hard worker. He wanted everything to look grandioso. And, you know, he taught me really everything I know about the industry. Like, as far as, like, you know, being super professional, super just, everything was so just grandioso.
But has your view now changed?
He pushing. He ready to start pushing.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, this is 24 years later, and it's shocking to hear all these allegations. It's completely shocking.
Shocking.
Wait a minute. 24 years later. First, she said she worked with her 5 years, and 24 years later. So it was 5 years ago. I'm guessing. I'm kind of confused on that part because I'm listening to what these people are saying now.
To hear them, is it surprising, given everything that you may have gleaned about him in that period?
It is surprising. Yes, it is. I mean, it's been, you know, hearing all of this. I mean, I owe a lot to Puff with my career because, you know, I've worked with the biggest photographers in the world, the biggest directors in the world, and, you know,
she's being careful.
We would go to Paris Fashion Weeks. I mean, we were running around with like the biggest names in the business. So, you know, to hear all of this happening right now is just, it's shocking.
You see, the reason I'm curious why you find it that shocking is that in 2010, you were very close to Cassie as well. And we've seen this horrific video, which emerged last year on CNN from several years prior, where he literally... Well, I'm just going to ask you, I'm going to just let the viewers know where I'm going here. You know, there was this appalling video that we're now seeing where he literally beats her up in public, in a hotel, you know, on a floor of a hotel, but in a public area. And it was absolutely despicable. Now, you said about that it wasn't a one-off, that when Cassie was beaten up on a separate occasion in 2010, you took her in, you said. We didn't even want to go to hospital, so I had a doctor friend of mine come and take a look at her. She was badly bruised, had knots on her head and a black eye. We were scared. I still have PTSD talking about it. That's
See, this is where I'm like, you knew this was going on. So imagine how much stuff she's seen that she's not talking about, and she helped cover up by doing the makeup and, you know, covering up the bruises and different things. This is weird, man. I'm like, you should have said something to somebody.
That's nearly 15 years ago.
15 years ago. Now watch how she chokes up.
Is, given what you witnessed then, given what you knew had happened, and given what we all then saw with the second incident on that
second
horrific video, actually, why are you that surprised about these allegations that have come to light?
Why are you surprised?
I mean, for me, it's like it's just reliving the whole situation over again, and that to me is the shocking part of it. You know, I block that. That's PTSD. That's trauma that I experienced from back then, and reliving it is really, you know, difficult for me to experience because I've known Cassie since she was 17 years old, and I was like her big sister, as well as her makeup artist. And just watching all of this it's absolutely shocking.
Right, but
if you are a big sister to her, I think you should have said something or done something or tried to get her out of that. That's just my opinion.
I mean, the reality is it's
disgusting.
The
reality is, watch this.
Witnessed that day in 2010, and based on what we've all seen in that other video, the guy, at the very least, was a person who beat up women. And yet the picture you painted of him, of your time with him, you know, in the early 2000s, was actually very positive. And you say you're very surprised and shocked by what's now come out. I wouldn't be shocked if I'd seen what happened to Cassie at first hand and the way you did. I think this guy's a monster. And I'm curious why that isn't what you're thinking, or have you blanked that out?
Oh, I've absolutely blanked it out all these years because it's something that I was very focused on my career. And so what happened then, you know, obviously we couldn't discuss with anyone. So I had to like blank it out of my brain.
Do you wish with hindsight...
I had to continue on and...
Right, but do you wish with hindsight, and I'm not accusing you of doing anything wrong. I'm just saying, do you wish with hindsight to prevent him treating other people in such a horrendous manner? Do you wish you'd taken it to the police, to authorities?
Of course. I mean, absolutely. But, you know, these are things that we couldn't do because we were terrified of Sean.
Right. See, that's really interesting because that wasn't how you described him at the start of this. So tell me about that. Clearly, there's another side to this guy.
That's crazy. He is saying to her, well, you said, you know, all these great things about him, and he helped me get my career going and all this stuff, like go Puffy, so to speak. But you have seen him and you helped him cover up some of this. Oh my God. And you saying you was terrified of him. You was terrified of him yourself. So I feel sorry for her. This is where I start turning to say, you know what? When you looking at this on the outside looking in, you could say, I would have done this and I would have done that. But if you in the middle of this stuff and you like, I can't believe this going on. If I tell somebody what's going on, they're not going to believe me. So she might have been a victim of that.
To the one that you painted when we first started talking. And the other side to him is appalling, isn't it? I mean, he wielded this power, this influence, this terror over you. Tell me about that.
I mean, like I said, like at the beginning of, you know, my career with Puff, you know, it was just like, you know, we were rising to the top. And like, when it got to the point with Cassie, it was like very difficult for me to like, just, I mean, deal with that. Like like even right now, it's just, it gives me like trauma. And so watching all these allegations unfold, I mean, being an industry professional, that's all I cared about. And like, I don't know what goes on like behind closed doors. So that's not, you know, that's not something for me to like even think about. And so when, you know, watching this unfold, it's been really difficult for me to like, you know, like stomach.
Right, but it wasn't, I mean, just respectfully, it wasn't
behind
closed doors.
One more
because
time.
In 2010, Cassie came to you after he beat her up.
Well, no, but I was there. I was actually with her that night.
Right, but that's what I mean, is that you knew it was happening because you were there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but do you feel any sense of guilt that you didn't report it?
Of course, absolutely. I feel a lot of guilt. I mean, I've been feeling that this whole entire year, you know, because I wish that I could have done something more. But at the time, we were both very terrified. So it's like, what were we supposed to do?
Put her on the stand. That's all I keep thinking.
We were always scared of Puff. He's a powerful person.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what would have happened to us if we'd spoken out. He could make you disappear. I mean, that sounds like you're saying he would basically have you killed.
I mean, who knows? Who knows? We were just scared.
Did you
Period.
genuinely think he might have you killed?
No, I don't. I was just saying that because that's something that, you know, it's a thought. It's just not. I don't know if it would happen. It was a thought.
Well, that's a pretty extraordinary thought to have, 𝗲𝗓, about someone, isn't it? That they have the potential capability to do that.
Well, it was a thought.
Did you fear he might kill Cassie?
I don't know if I mean, like I said, I don't know. That's not something that, you know, like I have no idea. It's just, you know, to fear that, yes, but you know, to actually like, I can't answer that question. I really can't. It's not.
He came
that,
out,
you know,
Diddy, after the second attack that we knew about. There have been reports of multiple others. He put a video apology out. Let's take a look at this.
My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day.
What do you make of that video?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, I just it was. I didn't believe it.
Right. Because you knew he'd done it before.
See how he pushing? He is pushing her to the limit. Because you knew he had done it before. This is not the first time he did it. You knew he'd done it before. Beat up on that girl. Poor thing. What is wrong with you, Puffy? What is wrong with you?
I just it was. I didn't believe it.
Right. Because you knew he'd done it before.
Exactly. I mean, if he's done it before, then, you know,
watch your words you're using. You covering up stuff. You can clearly tell she is afraid and she is trying to pick her words. She is trying to cover up stuff. Wait a minute, man. Listen, he said.
What do you make of that?
What
video?
do you make of that video? I don't believe it.
I mean,
because you knew he'd done it before.
It was.
Yes.
I didn't believe it.
I didn't believe it.
Right.
Right.
Because you knew he'd done it before.
Exactly. I mean, if he's done it before, then, you know,
then she turned around and
making
said,
an apology letter or apology video, that just holds no value for me.
There are a lot of rumors that he may have had some involvement in Kim's death. What do you feel about those rumors?
I mean, I don't know. I can't answer that question. I mean, those are rumors, and that's not something that I can answer.
Given everything that you've now read and heard about
That's the smartest thing she said. Possible? That's the smartest thing she said. Wait a minute.
Those are rumors, and that's not something that I can answer.
Given everything that you've now read and heard about him, do you think it's possible?
Possibly. I don't know. Like I said, I can't answer that question.
The indictments against him center around these freak-off parties where it's alleged a lot of coercion, assault, abuse, drugs, and so on took place. Did you know about these parties? Did you ever attend them?
Absolutely not. I mean, I was there just to do my job, and I don't know anything about those parties. Like, I'm actually in shock to hear about them at this point. Like, I was there to do my job during the working hours, and then I would go home and work the next day. I mean, I had nothing to do with that. Absolutely not.
Was it not common knowledge that he had these late after parties, these freak-offs?
Not for me. I had no idea.
She is terrified.
What do you think is going to happen to him, Mila?
I mean, I'm not really sure. I mean, I'm not sure. It's just,
wow.
It makes me very sad to see, you know, the outcome of all of this. Like, just to see his legacy, like, where it is now and how we started. So it makes me very sad.
Do you, I mean, his children have come out with a powerful statement saying, the past month has devastated our family. Many have judged both him and us based on accusations, conspiracy theories, and false narratives that have spiraled into absurdity on social media. We stand united supporting you, Puffy, every step of the way. We hold on to the truth, knowing it will prevail and nothing will break the strength of our family. We miss you and love you, Dad. Now, you would expect kids to support their father, but the sheer welter of allegations, the horrific detail that's contained in them, the fact that this has all been run by the FBI, who obviously have, pretty much an impeccable record of conviction with these kind of cases, it is more likely than not now that he's never coming out of prison.
And what do I think about it?
Yeah.
I feel very sad for his children, especially his children.
Me too.
I mean, they didn't ask for this, and now they have no mother, and they're not going to have a father, and that really that's devastating for me. Like, the children are, I don't know what I don't know how to look at this.
Marta, just for me, what's your biggest regret with all this, given what's now been coming out?
My biggest regret is not coming forward to the police about what happened in 2010.
Have you now been approached to
But
talk?
obviously-
Have they asked you about that now to do a formal interview?
No.
Are you expecting them to?
I hope not. I mean, this has all been very traumatic for me, like all of this.
But if you were called to testify against him, would you do that?
I don't. No.
That's messed up.
You wouldn't.
Wait a minute. Did she say I don't know, or did she just say no? See, this is the things that I'm checking out.
I don't. No.
I don't know.
You wouldn't.
No, I don't think so.
Marta, listen, I know it's very difficult for you, and like I said, I'm not making any suggestion that you knew about any of this, other than obviously what you witnessed with Paul Casey. And I appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, let me turn to the panel now to talk about all this. Jason,
I haven't watched the rest of this, and this is kind of lengthy. I don't remember. Most of the time I'm listening to this while I got the, like a podcast. I'm listening, soaking up information because, like I said, man, I was a Bad Boy fan. It taught me how to produce music. Bad Boy. Any music they put out, I would listen to it 100 times over and try to make my music sound like theirs. So I went up to Bad Boy's record label and everything, trying to get in. I've done all that. If they was anywhere close to town, I was there. So this is real close to me, man. And if somebody has done something and you can be a witness and just tell the truth about what you seen. If you're saying that you was like a big sister or sister to Cassie, you should testify. And then again, maybe just because she's on Morgan's show, she might say, no, I won't testify. Because if she says now that she would testify, maybe Puffy and his clique was going to go after her. But if she being subpoenaed to testify, I don't know. Maybe I don't know that much about. Does she have to testify if she's been subpoenaed to come to court to testify? And then you spill the guts and you will cry and say, I can't believe you all are making me do this. I don't know what that man has in his mother, his kids. They got the power to off me. Are y'all gonna protect me? That's deep, man. This is hard. This is real hard. So, but to sit there and say that, no, I won't testify against him. And the scared you are, the more they will come after you. If you stand up and say, yeah, you daggone straight, I testify, because now that it's all out, everybody knows. And I was there. So I know that what I say will hold weight because I helped cover up her bruises, but I was scared too. I ain't know what to do. I kept telling her she should leave, but she stayed. So what I supposed to do? I kept telling her to leave, but she stayed. If that happened, I don't know. It's deep, man. This is a, dude, think about it from both sides. Look at it from both sides, man, because at first I was shaming her. I was shaming her real hard. What? Then I started thinking that she's a female, man. You can hear it in her voice that she is afraid. She is afraid, and I can't believe that she came on that show. So, hey, y'all put in the comments, let me know. Should she testify? Should she have said something in the, way back then? Because if I'm a police officer and you got this big star and you saying some stuff about this big star, then you got to be sure before I start reporting this, and then Puffy got enough money to try to bribe the police. I'm the police, right? And be like, yo, man, I give you $8 million to make this go away. Nobody will know about it. And you're like, that's tough, man. That is tough, man. Making somebody a millionaire just to keep their mouth shut. Would you do that? Would you do it though? It's the question. Would you do it? So everybody got a number. I keep saying that to people, man. Everybody got a number, man. And you don't know until you in that position. And I'm looking at her that way. You in that position and you like, I'm just doing my job. I'm gonna cover up these bruises. Shame on you. So I don't know, man. Look here, I'm gonna get on up out of here. Y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell them Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out, man. I pray for all the victims, man. This is so sad. This is sad.